Good evening, members of the Select Board and Finance Committee. I'm Kayla Sauer, Planning Director for the Town of Acton. I've been with the town for 4.5 years, but in this specific role as Director for just about 3 months now. I currently oversee both the Planning and Conservation divisions. Our Planning division includes Nate Ryan, one of our assistant planners, and Barb Ryans, our part-time cultural resources planner. The Planning division recently brought on Matt Curley, another assistant planner, in early December. I want to give a big shout out to Nate, who stepped up and managed a great deal this past summer when Kristen Guichard, our former planning director, departed and I was on maternity leave. The Conservation Division is staffed by Olivia Barksdale, the conservation agent, and Ian Bergman, who's back there, who recently assumed the title of Open Space and Trails Manager. We have also had a transition in administrative support, like Ed mentioned, and have welcomed on Jessica Thomas as the permit coordinator, sharing this role with the building department. Together, Planning and Conservation support permitting and provide staff support for 10 boards and committees, and our workload related to permits fluctuates year to year based on the number and complexity of applications. In addition to permitting, we work closely with the community to implement adopted plans that guide how Acton grows and how its natural resources are protected. Starting with planning on page 59, our core responsibilities include zoning and subdivision review, staff support for the Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals, Historical Commission, Historic District Commission, and Community Preservation Committee, along with long-range planning, housing initiatives, and managing grant-funded projects that implement the town's adopted plans. One of our ongoing challenges is balancing increasingly complex state mandates related to housing and climate with meaningful public engagement, particularly as residents are being asked to participate in multiple initiatives at once. This past year, I'm particularly proud of the Planning Division's role in advancing the Habitat for All zoning initiative and adopting a new accessory dwelling unit bylaw, both which passed town meeting. In addition, we've completed an updated housing protection plan and maintained our status as a housing choice community. Looking ahead, our goals for FY27 include implementing recently adopted zoning and planning initiatives, increasing public engagement, especially reaching residents who have not traditionally participated, and beginning planning for the next update to Acton's comprehensive plan. Turning to conservation on page 62, the division administers the Wetlands Protection Act, including management of permitting and enforcement, and oversees stewardship of more than 2,100 acres of conservation land in partnership with volunteers and local organizations. The Conservation Division continues to face challenges related to climate impacts, including increased flooding, beaver activity, trail deterioration, and hazardous tree removals, as well as ongoing volunteer recruitment and coordination. Recent accomplishments include passage of the tree clearing delay bylaw at town meeting, the acquisition and opening of Moritz Forest Conservation Land, approval of the Open Space and Recreation Plan, and extensive volunteer-driven stewardship and environmental education efforts. Goals for the coming year include implementing the Open Space and Recreation Plan, improving baseline documentation for conservation restrictions, enhancing visitor experiences on conservation lands, and strengthening communication and volunteer engagement. From a budget perspective, both the planning and conservation budgets are essentially level funded, with changes being driven primarily by salary steps. There are no significant changes proposed, and the budget maintains our current level of service. Thank you. Happy to answer any questions.